My name is Jim Gosnell. I'm one of the new folks that's running for council this year. I don't sit on council at this point in time. I get asked occasionally, why would you want to be on council? And my wife Linda and I have lived now in Collingwood for 6 years. We had property prior to that, but we've been here for 6 years. And like you folks, we love this place. It's a terrific spot. I've got a fair bit of experience in government and the private sector dealing with municipalities, involving facilitation, trying to get people working together. And I think that I can bring some of those talents to the council table. I've been, for a year or so now, I've been going to council meetings. I've made a number of presentations to the council on matters like official plans, zoning bylaws, restructuring organization budgets. And I'm coming to the conclusion that in-town issues, it's an issue-by-issue management that's going on. We see decisions made on small items here and there. We get a fire put out in different places. And what I see missing is a bigger view of where the town of Collingwood is going. And I think that's critical. A couple of examples that I can mention very briefly is if we had a little broader picture of what's happening in the community, I'm not sure that we would see what's happening on the Mountain View Hotel site happening right now. And I'm not sure that we'd see $500,000 at this point going into the Eddie Bush Arena when I've heard some councillors say they're not sure what the future role of that arena will be. The platform that I would be supportive of, and as Brian suggested, or Chris suggested, the council, there's 7 of them there, and you need to be able to work together to do that. But I'd be looking for the council to develop a vision for the community. I'm not sure that there is a vision out there right now. It wouldn't be a council vision, it would be a vision by the people of Collingwood. That is critical. I think to get to that point, an area that the town can strengthen some of its involvement is with how they engage the public in the community. I'm not sure we have a good public engagement process at this point in time, and I think we could work on that. You're going to hear a number of suggestions, and I think some good ones, around where we're going with economic development and employment, job creation, plans for the waterfront, plan for the downtown. We're going to look at strong financial management. There's a number of good suggestions. What I see is really critical. If you've got the vision that we're talking about for the community, all of that work will be guided by that vision. All the work that's done will be directed towards taking the town in the direction of the vision. And I don't see that happening right now. Like the others, I want to say we appreciate very much you folks being here today and making the space available, and I look forward to having a little bit of a chat if we have some time after. Thanks very much.
I went through public school and high school with Jim's wife, and she's been able to put up with him for about 42 years. Pretty good guy. Anyway, thanks for inviting us here today. It's a pleasure to be here. It seems like only a minute ago I stood here 4 years ago and addressed this group of people, some new people I'm sure, some old faces that hurt me 4 years ago. But at that point, I promised at that point, if I were elected to council, that we would look at taxes and keep them to a bare minimum. We kept that promise. We would look at the debt, reduce the debt, and we kept that promise. We've increased I'm not going to go through all the things the Deputy Mayor said, but we've increased our reserves to over $30 million. But let me talk about economic development because that's something dear to my heart. Through this term, we did create a new business development center that is located downtown beside the town hall, which encloses a group of economic development specialists. We have hired a director of marketing and economic development who is preparing plans now and is working diligently on a strategic plan and a marketing plan for the future of this town so that we bring in more business, we retain the current business that we have, and we help it grow. I've been out talking to businesses in the last term. And we are growing. The town is booming. We have more developer funds coming into this town now than we've had in years. Hundreds of millions of dollars of development are now underway. Goodall moved from 45,000 square feet to 100,000 square feet. They now employ more people, now today, 22 more people than they did a year ago. The seatbelt manufacturer, I was in to see him the other day, and they have now just put on, in the last year, 50 new employees, good paying jobs. Everybody is prospering. The town is growing, business is increasing, individual in-home businesses are growing like you wouldn't believe. So economically, we are on the right track. We've put in place the tools to make sure that we are, and we're moving forward rapidly. I need your support next term to make sure that this continues. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Betty Donaher. Like you, I'm a transplant of Collingwood. I moved here in '79, actually to Creamore first in '79, and then Collingwood in '89. And I've had worked in Collingwood since '84. I'm self-employed, so like you, I have a problem with the taxes. I have business taxes to pay, and I have taxes to pay in residential here on my residential property. I have a few problems. Some of the things I'm just learning because this is my first year, or will be my first year when I get elected. One of the things that I'm really finding hard with some of the old candidates that are coming up and speaking is they're talking about how wonderful it is to start working on Hume Street. I believe that was the first priority of the last council, was to start Hume Street, and there was a petition that went around from a lot of the different businesses on Hume Street that wanted the work done, and the council ignored it. I have a problem also with the fact that the ambulances did not get put in the new Taj Mahal Fire Hall, because when Hume Street does get worked on, I don't know if anybody's been in the back of an ambulance, but I can imagine what it was like bouncing along there. But right now, my business is right on the corner of Hume and here, Ontario. Those ambulances, with the traffic that is being backed up now from the bell work, I can imagine what it's going to be like trying to get an ambulance out of that area, out and about. And even 2 minutes could cause the death of somebody because they're too slow getting out of there. So I have to question why we didn't put the ambulances in with the fire hall. My third complaint from the last council is the original outdoor rink that was put in the Centennial Park had the substructure or infrastructure to put walls and seating around it. And then they took and they put a bubble on top of the ball diamonds, which had, I was told something, and I have no idea if the number's right, so I'm not going to say the number, but it cost them a lot to make that ball diamond. Now they're saying that they have to make 3 new ball diamonds, so if we destroy the ball diamond, and we have to make 3 new ones, which will cost a lot of money to remake, because there's a lot of things that they have to do. Even the fencing has to be around $50,000. And so I'm concerned about that, why we didn't look at that before we went and started building that structure. I don't understand why the youth of the town haven't got their skateboard park and their bike park fixed up, because not everybody plays baseball and not everybody does hockey, but a lot of them use the skateboard park as part of their workouts in the summertime for their snowboarding and that in the winter. So those are some of my concerns with what happened in the last 4 years. And I'm concerned that we're just spending money so that the next councils down the road are the ones that are going to have to spend money to fix the problems that they had the last 4 years. So even though they're saying they think that they saved us money, they really didn't. They're costing us money because now we have to fix all of that again. And I'm not sure how long the structures last, the sprung structures, which didn't have a protective coating put on them, which was supposedly part of their plan. We have to replace that. So, 20 years from now, that $25 million is going to be $50 million to build a proper multi-use place. So, and then some of these people that are on council now are also the ones that voted down the free Fisher Field property that was being given to us, and the money that was given to us from the government to make a multi-use facility that was only going to cost us $2 million. So I really have to think and question whether or not people are thinking in the best interest of my taxpayer dollars, or if they're just thinking about making themselves look good in the moment. Thank you. I'm Betty Donovan.
My name is Bob Madigan, and I am running for council as a new candidate. I'd like to thank everybody for coming out today. It was fantastic. Penny for putting this on. I've known Penny for many years. I went to public school with her son, and she still looks exactly the same today as she did when I was in public school, so it was really nice to see her again and see her recognizable. I am running on the platform of one simple basis. I am here for you. I'm not going to comment on things that I have no clue about, because that would make me look foolish. I like to pride myself as knowing a little bit about a lot in my life. I'm a retailer in Collingwood. I have been a retailer in Collingwood since 1995. I've raised my 2 children here, which are my greatest asset, and I believe you, as well as those children, are Collingwood's greatest asset. People have asked me many questions. What do you want to change about Collingwood? When I'm out knocking on those doors that I'm knocking on, I say absolutely nothing. I love the town that I've chosen to live in. I've been lucky enough to have businesses all over Ontario. I've had businesses much more successful in other towns than I have in Collingwood, and I've chosen to stay here. We've chosen to live here. We've made that same choice. I love the town. I want to hear what you want. I'm just one voice, one vote. Let me be your voice. I have a passion for this town. I have a persistence to keep it better, and I want my children to come home. Wouldn't it be nice to be able to see your children coming home to the town that they grew up in? So what's important today is that you tell me what's important to you, not what's important to me. We have 4 years to make a great change, and we can do that. So please vote for passion. Please vote for substance. Let's not focus on negativity. Let's focus on positivity, and the way we can make things better. You know, if you have a broken shoelace, you fix it. You make a new one. We all can look at a pie, and a pie can look really, really nice, but when you taste it, you can't make a pie as well as my wonderful wife can. I can make it look the same, but it doesn't taste the same. So please take time today to stop me. Not much of a talker, I'm more of a listener and a doer. So I thank you very much. My name is Bob Madigan. Please vote for me. Thank you very much.
My name is Cam Appleton. I'm a candidate for council, and I thought I'd just share with you a little bit of my background, since you don't know me too well. Some of you do, but some of you don't. I was born and raised in Toronto. I went to North Toronto Collegiate. Actually played a lot of football, so I did the 6-year plan. Went to the University of Western Ontario, where I graduated. And the year that I graduated, I married my sweetheart from high school, Sue, and we have 3 adult children and 6 grandchildren. I have a very extensive business background, mostly with a company called R.L. Crane for 18 years in the business forms industry. I've always been in 10 years with the Southern group of companies. We've always been in leadership roles, or I've always been in leadership roles, and very accustomed to managing committees and the budgeting process, and responsible for bottom line decisions in business. In the year 2000, we moved to Collingwood, ostensibly to retire, because our friends had come up here. And I'm just basically a type A person, and I couldn't retire, so I became a financial planner, financial advisor in 2002, and built a very successful practice here in town. I'm just now in the process of transitioning my practice over to my partner, so I'll have some time to do this. In the 1990s, I was approached by the Colleges Association in Bell Lake up in Minden, and they wanted me to run for council to deal with our tax burden. The taxes were going up 11%, 7%, and 9%, as I remember. And they asked me to run, which I did, and I became the head of council in a township called Lutterworth, which ran up into Minden. And those 3 years, I learned a lot about myself and about the political system. And you know, the 3 years I'm very proud of. We kept our tax base at 0, 0, and -2. And we discussed everything on an ongoing basis with the various department heads, and we asked them to cut budgets by 5%, and they all came in and they all did that. And we had to change a few snowplowing routes around or whatever to get some efficiencies, and we made that all happen. And I also chaired the County of Haliburton Finance Committee for 3 years, so I'm quite accustomed to the budgeting process. As your candidate, I'm completely independent. I've taken no money from any developers or any special interest groups, so I'm a completely independent candidate with a lot of business experience, and I would like to serve you on council. Thank you.